Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on, Stargirl, but just, DC TV and the multiverse as a whole. So as we should all know by now, and sorry if this is your first time hearing this and I'm the one breaking it to you, but Stargirl was cancelled after season 3 despite being one of the best DC TV shows going on at the time. But, that was just a casualty of what was going down at the CW over the past, 2 years or so now. I don't know if it's been that long. It feels like it's been that long. And even if it did, it had gone to HBO Max rather than the CW after the collapse of DC Universe, like Titans and Doom Patrol did. It doesn't seem like that would have mattered really, because look what happened to Titans and Doom Patrol. They got cancelled as well. But back when Stargirl was coming to an end, coming to the end of season 3, we knew that whether or not it was cancelled or not, they had plans for season 4. Maybe not fully mapped out plans or anything like that, but knowing Jeff Johns, maybe they were fully mapped out. He's a pretty organised dude, who knows? But there were some plans at the very least, and they were never really teased to us, at least I don't remember, neither at the end of season 3, because they were able to film an alternate ending in case the show didn't return, and that's what we saw, which is like the JSA museum thing. But they were never really teased either in interviews after season 3 either, from my knowledge, from what I've read and stuff. So up until now, that hasn't been the case, but now we got a taste of what season 4 would have been like. So a few of the cast members of Stargirl were at a convention in, I think it was England, over the past weekend. Those being Brec Bassinger, who played Courtney or Stargirl, Meg DeLacy, who played Shiv or Cindy Berman, and Yvette Monreal, who played Yolanda or Wildcat. And as you would expect, they did do a Stargirl panel together, where, various questions were asked by people in the audience, including some stuff about season 4 that we never got to see. So it was said at the panel that a 4th season of Stargirl would have had a central story. I don't know if it would have been the core story, but I'd assume it would be the case. But I'll just say like a central story revolving around most of the season, at least to play it safe. But it would have been about the multiverse. And this would have been set up by the small crossover that, that was seen, or that we saw take place in Titans this season, when Beast Boy was sort of spat out into the earth that Stargirl resides on within the multiverse after being hit by lightning, or a bit of lightning from the Flash. You might be like, what the hell? But if you haven't seen that scene from the Titans episode, you can just look it up on YouTube. It's a bit of fun if you haven't seen it yet. So yeah, go do that after the video. Now, along with this, Brec Bassinger also said that talks had already begun with other DC TV shows, none of which were named for this specific scenario, but talks had already begun with other DC TV shows to be involved in the season 4 story for Stargirl. But you might be wondering, like I'm wondering, what shows would have been hypothetically involved with this season 4 story? With the multiverse, would some have featured more than others? What's going on there? Well, I think, and I say I think because I'm just thinking this would be like a easy choice, but I think by default you'd include the other CW shows because Stargirl was on the CW, and you think that's just easier, negotiating wise, for that to be the case. But then again, I guess they're all Warner Brothers properties, so maybe it doesn't matter too much. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think by default you would include the CW shows, but there is a big reminder here. Stargirl season 4, if it happened, would have already filmed by now. It actually already would have filmed, or at least, I think it would have already been done filming, and would be about to premiere probably in June or July or August or something like that. So it would have been filming at the same time that The Flash was filming its 9th and final season, while Superman and Lois was filming its 3rd season. So you think The Flash and Superman and Lois would be involved potentially if that was what was wanted in the story at the very least. Of course, Gotham Knights is a new show for this season, and you might be like, oh, would they have included Gotham Knights? But the thing is that Gotham Knights filmed in Atlanta, where Stargirl filmed as well, so I think that might have been involved in some way just because it would have been the easiest one to do. But because of the show, or because of the story of that show, it might have been hard because none of them have really developed heroes. So I don't know if it would have worked that way. I'm not too sure. So who knows exactly what would have happened there. Maybe they had plans there, maybe not, maybe they did, I'm not too sure. But you'd think Titans and Doom Patrol probably would have featured in this as well, just because of what happened in the Titans crossover. Also, Doom Patrol filmed in Atlanta, like Stargirl did. But Titans filmed in Toronto, but it's on the same side of the continent there, so it might have made travel easier if they needed to do that. But you think Titans and Doom Patrol would have just been decent options as well, just because of what happened in the Titans crossover, of course, as well. And maybe there could have been some characters from other DC TV shows that have come to an end, like a Supergirl, like a Legend of Tomorrow, maybe even Smallville or something like that. Little things like that would have been cool. I'm very intrigued to see what that would have been. But as to why the multiverse would have been involved, it could be because of a villain that gains access to the multiverse, maybe because of what Beast Boy was doing when he was traveling, throughout the multiverse within that Titans crossover episode. Or maybe someone who can travel the multiverse finds Stargirl's Earth because of that crossover. Something like that. So something could go down that requires Stargirl to tap into the multiverse in some way, whether it's by herself or with some help, and just get help from other characters, from other shows, from other Earths. Now, I don't know specifically whether she could do it on her own, or she'd need help from another character, like a Dr. Midnight, maybe like a Jay Garrick Flash or something like that. And I think this would have been really, really cool to see. And obviously, maybe even Jay Garrick could have played a lot into this season, or at least a decent amount to maybe assist with all that multiverse stuff. And maybe if you could even like discover more about his past as well, because we're led to believe, if not just being straight up told, that the Jay Garrick we have on the Flash right now is the Flash from Stargirl's Earth. There has been talk that in the Flash's series finale in season 9, he might confirm he's from Earth 2 and might say something about the JSA. People have been saying that could be the case because now the multiverse has opened up again. So maybe Jay Garrick knew about it the entire time, but decided to be a bit hush-hush because Barry didn't know. So maybe that's touched upon in the Flash series finale and we get one final connection to Stargirl on the Flash TV show. But if this did happen, it would have been cool to maybe explore what happened to him when he left Earth 2. And then, you know, all that. I think that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, missed opportunity for sure to not get this. So damn you, CW. Now, separately to this, Brett Bassinger also said that there were talks of a Stargirl and Flash just one-on-one individual crossover that just never came to be and get into proper development. Now, I don't know if this would have been, I guess it just would have been one episode, not like an episode of The Flash, an episode of Stargirl. Would have been more similar to just like the one episode crossovers we've got in the past, mainly between Supergirl and Flash. Now, we do know that Jeff Johns and Eric Wallace had a back and forth, I guess mainly due to Stargirl using the Flash TV show's version of Jay Garrick and more importantly, like his equipment, like the suit and stuff like that. But they also checked notes from memory to make sure, you know, no toes were stood upon in regards to canon and story and what each individual show was doing and all that. Now, I think this would have been while Stargirl was actually filming, I want to say season 3, so when the Flash was doing season 8, at least I think so, because this was in the works a while ago. I mean, it might have even been the season before, so Stargirl season 2 and Flash season 7, but then again, that was a COVID season. Then again, maybe that makes more sense as to why it was scrapped, because they wanted to do it during that season, but then COVID went, how about no? And it couldn't happen. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the situation was there. But regardless of a potential COVID issue, the big issue with Stargirl crossing over with either the Flash or Superman and Lois even, you can argue the multiverse, but also just the distance. Stargirl, as I said, filmed all the way down in Atlanta in America, with Flash and Superman filming all the way up in Vancouver in Canada. So it would have been like an impressive feat if they could make it work at the time. But maybe they could have had it work in this final season of The Flash. And to be honest, I think if Eric Wallace got maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 more episodes for this final season of The Flash, he might have tried to make it work and make it happen after the Oliver Queen episode, where, you know, Barry learns that the multiverse is still out there. I think that could have easily opened the door to all of that. But yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity, definitely not getting Stargirl and Flash crossing over, because I think they would have had a good back and forth, especially I think you could involve Jay Garrick in that crossover as well, and that could be like maybe the middleman, if you want to put it in that whole back and forth. But yeah, that's a missed opportunity. I think a lot of people were hoping for a Flash and Stargirl crossover pretty much ever since Stargirl came over to the CW, and unfortunately just multiple things got in the way, early, endings and all that stuff. So it's unfortunate, but that's how things roll some of the time. So you just got to live with the highs and live with the lows. Now, in regards to what the story could have been between a possible Flash and Stargirl crossover, obviously, if it was on the Flash, like the crossover took place on the Flash show, you think it would have to be in Central City or at least Earth Prime, but they easily could have had it that Barry goes across the multiverse, maybe accidentally, like he did back in the first Flash Supergirl crossover, which took place on the Supergirl show, and he ends up on Stargirl's Earth, and they set it, and they go from there. And they could just use some locations in Vancouver to look like locations from Blue Valley from Stargirl's show, like they did on Titans. They made an area in Toronto look like Blue Valley High, and that's where they did that scene for the Stargirl portion of that crossover little segment thing. But yeah, so they could do the same in Vancouver, find a high school, make it look like Blue Valley, maybe find a street that looks like a street from Blue Valley, do all that, and then go on a classic adventure to maybe stop something from there. Maybe like a classic JSA villain. That'd be pretty cool, or something along those lines. And then they can use just standard locations after they leave Blue Valley to deal with this issue, this villain, whoever it might be. I think that could be what was done if they wanted to do it, do something like that. And I think it would have been pretty fun. Like, I think that's probably the biggest missed opportunity, in my opinion, in regards to something that I wish happened, was a Flash and Stargirl crossover. Because you know, outside of Arrow, they're my two favorite shows on the CW. So it's like a CW DC TV show. So yeah, missed opportunity for sure, but it's definitely not the creators' problems, it's just other issues outside of that, which sometimes you can't control. So one of those unfortunate things. If only. What if? But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and show support. Let me know in the comment section down below. What would you have wanted to see in like a crossover between Flash and Stargirl, or Stargirl and another show? And what would you have wanted to see in Stargirl's multiverse storyline? Do you think there could have been a specific villain that you're thinking of? Maybe there's a JSA villain that could play into that. Just let me know your general thoughts down there, and if you really wish you could have seen this. And yeah, let me know all your thoughts down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.